What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back, finally, with another episode of the DeAgostini Millennium Falcon from Fanhome. And it wasn't Fanhome, my friends, that took care of me on this one. I've been missing stage 32 for the last 3 months. Now, obviously, we've had a lot to do, and we've been covering a lot of the catch-up work. And we were able to blast past and finish up all the way through stage 39 without having to worry about stage 32. Now, I was able to look around and I did find a couple of stage 32s available on eBay. One was from Japan and one was from Europe, I believe, and both of them were going to be really expensive. And I was mentioning it on stream last week and lamenting a little bit. And one of my subscribers, Dash Riptide, I just want to give you a big shout out. Thank you. He's building the Falcon as well, but he's currently building a ton of part works right now. And this Falcon, he's had these parts for a little while, as you can see. So he's like, hey, I'll just go ahead and send it to you. I'll just pay the cost of shipping or whatever. And what I told him is obviously when I get my stage 32, I'll make sure to send mine to him so that he's not out of his parts when he eventually does come around to building. But without Dash, we weren't going to be building this model anytime soon because I've got a feeling that stage 32 is going to be a few months away. So, that being said, today is going to be a fairly quick episode. It's kind of like a culmination. If we were to bookend the previous episode with this one, it's kind of like we're going to start at the beginning was 32. Really, it's stage 33 that we're going to be doing and finishing, just grabbing the part from stage 32 and then setting everything else to the side. And then stage 40, we're literally just grabbing some screws and some two-hole connectors out of here. And we're going to be putting together the frame section that we created in the last episode that has the motorized lifting ramp. So it's going to be a fairly quick and simple episode, but I wanted to get this one out. Just wanted to get some progress going again on this model because we are quickly getting up towards the halfway done mark. And I've been taking a look ahead as I've got through stage 53 now. We're starting to really do some serious work, and this model is now about to take up an entire table because that little plastic thing that we built for the bottom, we're going to be having to use for the top as well, a whole new section. So we're going to have to eventually mate two pieces together. Oh, my friends, this is going to be interesting. So let's go ahead and work on stage 32, stage 33. Let's get going, shall we? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at stage 32, and it's going to be different from what you guys are seeing if you're currently on the build-up with Fanhome, as this is an issue from the 2015 issue of the Falcon, and this is just when Disney is buying Star Wars. So it's kind of interesting. If you look, yeah, 2015 Lucasfilm. I'm not seeing Disney anywhere. This is pretty cool. So yeah, this is from this would be Model Space if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dash, were you getting this on Model Space? Let me know. But the inside of the magazine, which also feels a lot nicer. This is a much nicer magazine as well. The internal parts, like all of this stuff, all of the things that we see inside, looks all very similar. I'm really not noticing any difference. So it's kind of cool, but let's go ahead and just slide that off to the side. Get all of our... This is kind of cool. They try to science up Star Wars a little bit and fascinating. So for stage 32, they want us to go ahead and assemble our thrust vector plates onto the rear plate that sits over the back. We're not going to be doing that for a little while. I want to go ahead and get most of this built so we can go ahead and get some of our paint down so that we can go ahead and assemble that. So all we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and open up stage 32, and I'm only going to just grab like a little bit of the top here. And I just want to grab this frame section out. And then we're going to leave everything else off to the side. For all of this, I was willing to pay almost $30 for this one frame section because I could have waited for the rest of that. So there's that. I actually don't even need the magazine as well, so we're going to go ahead and set both of these off to the side. And as funny as it is, let's go ahead and grab our frame section. And this thing is gigantic. My goodness. I think I said it in the last episode. If there's one thing that could be bigger than the saucer section of the Enterprise D, and it is definitely this. So let's go ahead and get this out. And to complete stage 33, what we're going to do, 32, 33, whatever we want to call it, this frame section is very simply going to fit into place right here. So what we're going to do, is it? Yeah, it is, literally. We're just going to put 2 screws in. So I'm going to grab some extras just in case. Let's grab 2 black button screws. Go ahead and grab our final one here. This is going to be really satisfying to you guys. The bottom frame is about to be complete. All right. Stage 33 complete. Let's go ahead and move on to stage 40. Here we go. All right, so much like stage number 33, 32, whatever we just did, we're really not going to be doing a whole lot in here. We do have a frame or a hull panel that has been weathered up and a little bit of a gash put in there, which is pretty cool. We're going to be doing a ton more weathering on this model later on. We have some of our canopies, our clear pieces for the cockpit if we wanted, or actually these aren't for the cockpit. They are actually, but these are also going to be for the weapons ports. And then we have some sprues with some greeblies on there. So all we're going to be grabbing, however, is going to be these black button screws and the 3 2-hole connectors. So let me go ahead and just quickly try to fish those parts out without getting everything else out. All right, so let's go ahead and get out our black button screws. I'm just going to get them into my little cup here. There we are. And then one more cup for our 3-hole connect, or our 3 2-hole connectors. And instead of like trying to pry that apart, you have this knife here, Jordan. It's kind of amazing. I do see the one that fell out onto my table right there. So let's go ahead, and I'm talking about the black button screw right there. There we are. Now let's go ahead and open up to our instructions. And what we're going to be doing, let's go ahead and bring back our frame section that we created last time. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting one of the 2-hole connectors right here, and right here. As you can see over on this side, this already has the built-in rib connector and stiffening rod. And we are going to go ahead and set that down into place. This is going to be fitting up on this side using these connectors, and then over here where we connect in, this is where the landing gear is around this area. We're going to be using the 2-hole connectors. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Might actually introduce to you a new camera angle here. Oh, see? Oh. This camera angle might be good for you guys to see what I'm doing. I've been realizing that with these bigger models, it's been getting a little bit more difficult to see what I've been doing. So I want to try to incorporate some different angles. I watch a lot of World of Wayne, and obviously like his productions. So let's go ahead and try to replicate that as best as we can. And as a reminder, with this model, all of our threads are pre-tapped, so you don't need to worry about using 3-in-1 oil. Okay, so let's get our second one into place. In the coming issues, however, I have looked ahead a little bit, and they do provide us with some of our frame sections are going to be a little bit thicker than others, and so they do provide us with a tool to help us tap out our pieces. So, go ahead and grab our last 2-hole connector. Let's see if I can do this. I thought I had an idea. And as Squint says, if you were thinking, you wouldn't have thought that. What movie? Let me know. All right, so our last 2-hole connector put in. There we are. All right, they're all put into place. Let's go ahead and switch back over to our other camera. And let's go ahead and zoom out because I think don't really need so much of the instructions here just in case, but it's fairly obvious where we're going here. So let's go ahead. What we're going to do in order for the sake of seeing what's going on. God, this thing is huge. This piece is going to fit in right here, just like so. So the first thing we're going to do is get our 2-hole connectors lined up properly. Our frame put into place. There we are. I'll make sure I'm lining everything up properly here. There we are. Go ahead and grab one of our button screws, and this is kind of a familiar motion as the saucer section for the Enterprise. Trying to do this left-handed, so we'll see how we do. There we are. Oh, this is cool. All right, now we can switch over to our right hand. I think. Nope. You have to be a left-handed job today, Jordan. This might actually be a right-handed job today, Jordan. I'm going to go to the front one here as it needs a little bit of encouragement to kind of keep, like we're bringing 2 pieces of frame together, and so it's taking a little bit of encouragement to bring our pieces together. Let's grab our final piece right, where are we? We're right here. There we are. Very cool. Now we're going to come down to this one down here. Make sure it's biting. Pulling up. And it is. There we are. Excellent. This is going together real nice and easy. Hopefully I just didn't curse at the commentator myself there. There we are. And all we're doing is going around the outside to all of the screw holes along the inner flange here. And then we're just going to go along the side here. Final one down here at the base. There we are. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to run up the radial rib and get, what is it, 2, 4, 5 more screws. And just working our way up. And it's so cool that a frame section that's 9 years old fits in with this model. Obviously, they haven't done anything to change the tooling on this, but it is still super cool to me that something 9 years old is going to be fitting in with this model and being there for a long time. There's something really poetic about it. What that is, I don't know, but it's poetic. This one's requiring a little bit of encouragement, so it's kind of pulling up on the 2 frame sections. What I'm doing is pulling up right here, kind of pushing down with my thumb and pulling up with my forefinger. That put in place. Oh, my friends, our last screw for the day. Of course, it's not going to go in easy. There we go. And there it is. Oh, my friends. We have, if I could show it in here, get it in there. Coming through the screen, all Star Wars like. There we are. Very cool. Our final bottom frame section is put in place. Our ramp is put into place. This thing has gotten remarkably solid just by adding this one piece. There's very little bend and flex in this model now. And I gotta say, after the culmination of just all of these stages being put together, this is super cool to see. And I am super grateful to you, Dash, for hooking me up with these parts so that we can actually get here and keep moving on. So, that being said, my friends, join us next week as we move on to stage 41 and we really start doing some work on putting some panels on. And God, there's just a lot of cool things coming up as we really are starting to get into the nitty gritty of this model. So that's what I got for you today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, which I think is pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world, wherever you happen to be. And just remember, my friends, that this is the way.